Shout out to everybody in the building. They done released our boy Dre, and we got him for a few minutes. We both busy today, but we got a few minutes to find out from his mouth what happened. Because the last time I talked to you, and I actually did a show, you was telling us how the directions which Naziah would have been walking and stuff. So I did a show about that, and so I just wanted to find out. Everybody want to know what happened. Um, Last time I talked to you, you mentioned some guys that she had been having come by the house and dropping her off and just kind of disrespecting the house. And did that have anything to do with it, or was it something new?
Um, it was pretty much the same old stuff. Um, it was just different things here and there, but so I know I've been explaining to her like you about to be moving out pretty soon, so all this I don't like I said I don't mind you dating, but you have to date a certain type of way, like especially the way you doing it. You just meeting people, telling them where you stay at. Then you find out you don't like them or something, or I don't know what you're doing, but you leave with them, you come back, and out of at least two of them people, you told me you didn't block them just like that. So it's like, so you know you meet random people and then block them, but you let them know where you stay at, and then you're not about to be staying here that long. So what's the point of you doing that? And then you sit there and you tell me you had conversations with these guys about me, trying to make them feel comfortable about whatever situation you want them to feel comfortable about. Nah, like if they come to pick you up, y'all go wherever y'all gonna go.
I mean,
Why sit in front of the house? Why sit in front of the house and all that kind of stuff?
if you
And
meet
then
random dudes on random sites or random stores, why do they need to know your situation? You already know what they there for. Because at this point,
yeah,
I'm convinced they meet dudes to have sex.
that's what I'm starting to think. Like I don't know what y'all on, but it's too much.
I mean,
Span as well.
we got to go back to how you met them because I've been on a trail of
Right.
them, huh?
I said right.
Yeah, so let's remember that because however they met you, that's exactly what they're doing. So you said you met her how?
On the Facebook dating app.
That's what I thought. I thought you told me that a Facebook dating app. And
I've never tried any type of dating app out before. I just seen that on Facebook and was like, I'm gonna just try it out because I be working so much. I'm like, maybe I'll find somebody on here. You never know. But
so when you met her, wasn't y'all first spot the travel in?
uh, I can't remember how it went. We just was like getting to know one another and stuff, and then she was explaining, she got a lot of people at her house because she stayed with her mom's, and then I was staying with my uncle at that time, so I just give anybody that's around me some type of respect. I ain't gonna be doing stuff in your house, and it's not my house. So it
Right,
makes
but
the
I'm
best thing well to meet up and just get a little room or whatever, some cheap room. But
so y'all did that.
she chose the place.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. So I'm just saying like that is whatever way they met you and then I was also on a trail of Jarvis and how they met him because he was still in the halfway house. So I was feeling like they meet guys that's in jail and somehow they're either in jail or about to get out. So somehow they know. They
Right.
noticed because when you met her, wasn't you recently getting out yourself?
Nah,
Oh, you had been out?
I've, I've never been locked up like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you told me you
I,
okay.
I like all right, when I had told you get in trouble, but it took long for them to process stuff and all that kind of stuff. I went through that situation. They even got me mixed up with a whole nother name and stuff. Like they and then I had to go to court. They took me down there to court, but said I didn't have court and brought me back up, and then I violated something. So it was a lot of stupid shit going on that I had nothing to do about. So I was just sitting in jail for
In
a little,
2022 though, right?
for something so little. Yeah, no, it wasn't in no 2022. Hell no. I
Oh,
worked.
okay.
I've been working for at my job for like 7, 8 years now.
Oh, okay. Well, dang. You
I
know
can show
what?
you. I can show you proof on that one. Like I haven't been in trouble in I don't know how long. I can't even tell you how long.
Well, I was trying to figure out when they let you out, and this was prior to you getting out. And so I looked it up, and right here it says that you was discharged on 620. I mean, yeah, 626 at 5:34. And when I reported that, I said I don't know if it's true because what when we look up Jarvis record, it say one thing and it's another. So why the
Mm.
heck would they put that? It's so confusing down there.
See, they probably they probably had that like that in their system, but they probably weren't gonna let me out until you know they was ready to let a certain amount of people out. I don't know. I don't know how jail work. All I know is it's easy to get in there and it's hard
Hard
to
to
get
get
out.
out. Exactly.
You know,
Wow.
so they give you trouble. But I remember when the detective came to me, he just was like, "We gonna let you go tomorrow at 12." So that's all I knew was I was getting out at 12. I still didn't even get out at 12. It was maybe an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours after that. But I
That's
wasn't
crazy.
tripping. I was just upset that I was sitting in there for something I know I just didn't do. But the police that took me even they was like, man, we have to take you because of the rules now. Like I don't believe you did anything. You good, man. Like you just gonna have to, sit for a minute. And it's like, damn, I don't even want to do that,
Um,
man.
that don't even make sense to me. If they didn't see a probable cause to arrest you, they shouldn't have did it. What are the
It's,
rules? If
it's,
somebody
it's
called, they gotta
because
do
if,
arrest somebody.
yeah, if somebody called for domestic violence, one of the especially if the person called is all it's already showing in their favor. But if they call and say anything about domestic violence, somebody got to go to jail. Somebody got to get
Okay,
locked up for a minute.
okay,
Because
so
back in the
come on.
day, they used to no, because back in the day they used to do the thing which they did. Domestic violence, you call and then say y'all both live there. They'd just say split for a hot minute. You go somewhere, you got somewhere to go, you go somewhere or something. One of y'all can stay here, one of y'all got to go. That's what they used to do. But you have people that retaliate, so they would leave, and then when the cops leave, they come back either kill the person or hurt that person, and then
Come on.
it make the police look bad. So now they changed it to where if it's a domestic violence, somebody has to go, and it's like even if there's no marks, no nothing, nothing's happened. Like you can tell nothing's happened, they still have to take somebody.
That is not okay, and that's not a good rule. So she
Yeah,
called.
I don't like
What
it
was
either.
different? This is obviously the first time she ever called the police on you.
No,
Why?
she
Oh,
she
it's that?
she, she done it in the past, but it's all been stupid. Like we'll get into an argument just because she feel like I'm like winning the argument, or if I feel like whatever, I'm gonna put my foot down, whatever. Somehow she just calls the police, like when we first moved in the first house, she start throwing shit, and sometimes I might get to your level, like, oh, you want to fuck shit up? All right, let me flip that. Boom. Then she gonna call the police, like, and then make it seem like I'm doing something extra. And I'll sit there and talk to the police. I'll be waiting on the police. Like, I don't understand why you called them, but okay. And they get there. And then she always got like stories because I don't like, she'll be in the house, I'll be outside. So I'll be talking to some police out there, they be talking to them. And then it's like, they be looking at me like, what the hell is you going through, bro?
She
And I said,
toxic
I don't
as
even
hell.
understand.
That's a
Like, I
toxic
don't understand.
relationship, huh?
I never get locked up. So when this happened, I'm like, I know I ain't do shit. So I talk to him like any other time when you call the police. I don't know why you being dumb like this, but okay. And then when they got here, she just like, well, he choked me and we was tussling and stuff. I said, no, she just got to throwing my shit around. I said she was really mad because I took the key and I took the key right in her face. We was talking about the situation, and I think me taking the key is what ticked her off. And she started throwing shit, and it was just my shit like she was throwing. So it was like, oh, so I kicked the chair fell over. I was like, it's a dent in the chair. You can go look at that. And I walked out the house and left. She must have called the police as I walked out because I turned back around to go because I must have like dropped my little blunt that I had or whatever. So I'm like, damn, did I put it on the table or something? So I went to go look, but couldn't find it. So I done left back out. She still, on the phone, but I done went down the street. The police and like rolled past, so I didn't flag them down. I talked to them for a minute. But being that I didn't call in or anything like that, he just wasn't trying to be a part of anything. And then by that time, the other police pulled up to the house, so I walked back to the house to see what was going on. Basically, I'm like, I'm telling them like I live here. Yeah, she called. It was a situation or whatever. Uh, she's destroying the house. She's mad because I took the key, and it's a long story. Then they just wanted to hear the story from her, but she just said that we tussled and was fighting, and I choked her or beat her or something like that. And I'm
Wow.
like, what? But the police looked at her up and down. They wouldn't let me really say nothing. I just was like, she lying, but they was like, telling me to be quiet. But they looked her up and down, checked her body, nothing. So they just was like, well, we have to take somebody, being that she called, we have to take you. And it was what it was type
That's
thing.
crazy to me. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that they got to take somebody and they know that it don't look like anybody was injured. I mean, what you could have said is she ain't on the lease and I want her out of my
Oh,
house. Like she
I
shouldn't
said,
even been there.
I said
Huh?
that too. I was on the phone. I said that too. I was on the phone with my landlord and everything. They was telling me, being that she lives here for a certain amount of days, I have to do it a certain type of way. And it's like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, well, he's in the middle of being evicted, like and they just acting like none of that mattered.
Yep, and I thought about that too because I know if you live somewhere and you've been staying a certain amount of days, you got bags of clothes, and even if you get mail there, for sure that stamps it as you they live there. It's kind of like how they do with squatters. The
Hmm.
squatters can break in your house, move in, and they got their side. I think that's so crazy. That's jacked up. But then with me reporting these cases, I've had instances where people, a certain person will call the cops and they'll go to the person that didn't call the cops because they the right color. So these people just do
Hmm.
whatever they want. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
they do. Yeah, they do.
So the best thing to do is just stay away. How does she get her stuff? I wouldn't even want to be nowhere around her. How does she
Um,
even get her stuff at this point? Does she got to get it? Has she gotten
I
her stuff
don't
out? I
know.
guess I should ask.
I was still at least giving her the chance to come and get her stuff and leave in peace. But she hasn't been back yet since I've gotten out. You
I
know,
wouldn't even give her that choice because she can lie on you again. I wouldn't let her come and get nothing without a police
it ain't
escort.
gonna work. I'm gonna record her from the time she come through the door, and
Man,
like, it ain't gonna work. And then if she is do something like that again, it's just gonna make her look even more worse and stupid. I'm not worried. Even if I had to sit another 27 or 72 hours, I'm not worried at all. It is just gonna put more eyes on her because obviously y'all doing something or whatever. I don't know what's wrong
you
with this
so
girl.
nice, Dre, because she what day is garbage day? That's the day all that shit will be sitting on the curb and she will be notified the day before. Come and get it or it's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Soon as my landlord give me this eviction notice, I'm most definitely that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna text her phone and be like, I'm gonna give you 24 hours to come get your stuff. If I don't hear from you or whatever, and it's gone. Don't expect it to be here because I ain't holding it.
Yeah, because you've been real nice dealing with that, trying to be reasonable, and then the end result is this anyway. And I'm just still I'm more irritated with the whole situation, but the police and how they handle it, knowing that it wasn't. I wonder when did that change, knowing that it wasn't like that.
I don't know, but it seemed like even though that I was in the car, the police kept saying, man, like this is bullshit. He was even talking to other cops like this shit right here is some bullshit, bro. Like they didn't really want to do it, but they was explaining to me like if they didn't take me, they would lose their job and
Mm.
stuff like that. So they was being understandable and stuff.
Yeah, they
Uh,
wasn't being rude to you or nothing. They
Even
just
when I got in there, I guess I don't know who was calling up to the police thing, but people was calling up there, and to me, I look at that like, okay, they see I got support and people that care, and I ain't even call nobody. You know.
I called up there and got somebody,
Mhm.
but I didn't have the right information. And then the guy was real nice to answer the phone. And when I called back like later that day, I couldn't get nobody. I called like 8 times. Then I just
See,
went and started trying to see what I can find, and that's when I found that. So I'm
because a
like, man.
couple police officers walked past and then they stopped and was like, "Hey, what's your name, man?" And then I told them. Then they, they just walked off. But it was like, wonder why he asked me what my name was for. But they might have, heard up front like DeAndre getting a lot of calls.
And I guess
So,
it worked in they asked you, okay, because they was getting more calls than usual. So they like, what's up?
yeah. Like, damn, like, who is this guy? They probably was like, who is this guy? And, and I'm in jail and I'm being my normal self, chill. Like, am irritated that I'm there, but I'm still talking to the police with respect, like how I would normally do if out on the street. Like, if you were just a normal person, I ain't sitting here trying to chop it up with you or nothing. But when I see you got a good vibe as a police officer, you seem like you a good police officer and you ain't really out here just being ignorant because there's some in there that just treat you like you
Abuse of
a piece of
power.
shit. And it's like, all right, I don't really want to try to get to know you anyway. But
So
any of
when
the
he
other ones, it was like it was decent, huh?
no, I was about to ask. So what made you think that he was asking because of the phone calls? What did he say again? Because I was kind of.
Nothing. It was just being locked up in there. You don't. The police officers. I'm paying attention to everything. They walking past everybody. They had a moments where they asking for somebody, and then they need them. Like they got to go to court or something like that,
Hmm.
or they got to go to the nurse or something. So they need them. It's just I've never really seen nobody walk around and they be like, "Hey, what's your name?" And then I tell you, and then you ain't even want anything, and you just walk off.
Mm. So do you feel comfortable staying in that house now that strange men know where you stay and you don't know what they've been talking about?
Uh, Me personally, I just live my life like how I've been living it, and I'm not worried because I watch everything. I pay attention to everything
And with
as
that
much as
being
I possibly
said,
can.
sorry, what you say? That
I said
last
as
part?
much as I possibly can.
Yeah. So with that being said, I mean, okay. So if you had to count, how many times had this woman called the police on you?
Uh, Either twice or three, but twice for sure.
And the only thing that made this one different because she said you hit her. She never
She
said
said
that
she said she
before.
said I hit her in the last one.
What?
Yeah, but she said I hit her with a pillow or something like that. Yeah,
Oh
pillow.
my God. So was this when she called the police before? Had you been on our panels or anything like that? Or this was prior to all
No,
the
this is the Nazai shit has happened when she called the police on me, but it wasn't as hot as being in too many other people's business.
mm.
So it happened within that time frame. But like I said, when she did that at that time, they must have just changed the rules because I was either about to go to work or something like that. I can't even remember going to work or I just was like skipping. I'm about to go play basketball or something. I know I was out and about that day, but I just didn't want to be in the house because she was acting all crazy, just wanted to argue and shit. And she was like, as usual, tearing up stuff, not tearing up like the house, but certain things like she didn't just give a fuck about. And it was like, all right, you doing too much.
Did
And then
she
I know
block your number? Is that one of the
she did.
things
She
that
did. She did at one point. Like that day, she went to go see her kids, and then got dropped off by the guy. She took the dog, and our dog is a house dog. We don't really take our dog nowhere. Shit, like she stayed home. So when I came home, this is the very first time out of the time since we got the dog. This girl decides to take the dog anywhere. So I'm kind of confused. I didn't came in the house, and I'm like, oh shit, where the dog at? Like, did she come downstairs, open that door, and the dog and snuck out and got away or some shit? She ain't know. Because we didn't have moments like that, where we couldn't find the dog. And she didn't snuck out past the door somehow and she down the street somewhere. So I'm like, I don't know how long or if she's gone like that. She could have took her somewhere. She could have. So I'm trying to call her. And that's when I find out I'm blocked. But it's just like I just hate being blocked because it's like we grown here, you know, and then you still live here. So anything can happen. Shit, I can come here and the house could be fucking burnt down. I think I should be calling you to let you know, like your shit getting burnt down. But no, I won't be able to because you got me blocked. You know,
So
like not saying that'll happen, but what's the point?
was that her first time blocking you?
No, she always do that stuff when she mad at me. She'll block.
Right.
But
She know how
I
to
keep
push your
telling her
buttons.
like, stop doing that. That shit childish because we barely talk like that in the first place. So you doing that is like I'm only calling you because it's something important. Now I'm irritated because you being childish and I'm trying to stay on some grown people shit.
So she got had two trump cards. The blocking the number, she know that infuriates you, and she knew her taking the dog would confuse you and have you wondering what was happening. So she blocked the number so you couldn't get in touch with her. And is that
And
the
then,
same day you got arrested?
no, it was like the next day I want to
So
say.
it was brewing because the day before that, I had talked to you and you was mad about little feeling disrespected by the other stuff she had did.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
How many
And then,
dudes do you
and then
date
I
in
just
1 week? That's crazy. Go
yeah,
on.
like that's too much. Like I don't even do shit like that, and I'm a guy that can just talk to females if I wanted to. And I ain't gonna say I just do it like that, but no, like shoot, it's too much shit going on around here to just be randomly meeting people and
Okay.
doing shit.
Would you say are you drawn to toxic people? Have you ever dated do your
They
ex
probably
remind
drawn
them
to
of
me
you of her?
because my aura gives off such a nice person. So toxic people know
Yeah.
how to use a nice person.
Yeah, that's true too. Toxic people drawn to people that don't want all the rah-rah. So that's true. Opposites attract. But would you say that you've dated a Marquita before?
No, I have
No.
not. I never dated a person like her before. A
Oh.
lot of my girls be like kind and chill and shoot. A couple of them like to get out of party, but I'm not really too much of a party person. But
Okay. It got to be a difference. So, do you see a difference in the women that choose you versus the women you choose? Cuz
yeah,
it's a difference. It's a
yeah,
big difference.
yeah,
Some of the ones that approach and choose you are going to be some of the more aggressive type you know what I'm saying? It's a difference with that. And the
yeah,
ones you approach will probably be more meek and mild, would you say?
yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the difference right there. And and in closing, I want to ask,
Mm.
like finding out she didn't call the police more than once, but god dang, how do you feel being arrested and Jarvis is he got the go ahead? Like this make her look horrible even more. Did you even
I
think about that?
I didn't. I haven't really thought about it like that, but it's sad. It's like, are y'all scared of this man? What's going on? I don't get it.
Mm,
I really
I don't
don't
think
get
they
it.
scared of nothing. Not the person you just described to me. I think that he's okay because they getting paid. They getting they pockets laced or something. Something they gotta be getting out of letting this dude do whatever to their children, but did what she did to you. It just don't make no sense. And they still don't
Yeah.
want to believe what this man has done to their own kids, but they found it necessary. She found it necessary to lock you up. Shame on her. Shame on them. But we looking, we see y'all now. Jarvis
All
is
I know
okay.
is time is going. Take its time. It's gonna take time, but that's all it took was time. I'm patient. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still being patient. There's a lot more to go. For how I feel. Let me rephrase my stuff because people are like, oh, you know something. It's like, like this is just how I feel. Like it's too much going on, so I feel like it's about to be more crazy shit.
Well, I think now you could just starve her out if she try to call about anything. I mean, whatever she got at the house, she would be collecting it from the porch. I mean, or the sidewalk. I wouldn't even speak with her no more. Not after getting me locked up. That's
I'm
crazy.
trying not to even speak to her at all, but it would be nice for her to get her shit.
And
I don't
then
want to have to
lastly,
throw it out.
you don't want to what?
I wouldn't want to have to throw it out, but if it comes to that point, I would throw it out.
Man, I throw it so far across the street. she'd be still looking for it. But I'm
Yeah.
happy that it happened at a time where it didn't affect your job.
Right, right.
Cause that's
You
what
know,
they messing with your livelihood.
but my job, I'm cool with my job. I love my job.
That's what's up.
You know,
That
so
was one of my big concerns too.
I didn't even lie to my job. I told them what it was, and they gonna make sure that I was all right.
Mm, good. I'm happy to hear that. Good guys finish last, but it looked like you finished first.
Oh, yeah.
Cause you done.
Look,
You done.
if
You
I
see all
wasn't a
you need
hard
to see.
worker at job, if I wasn't a hard worker at my job, it probably wouldn't have worked out that way. But I
Okay.
work hard, so
That's
hard work
good.
gets good results.
It paid off for you in the end.
Oh
But
yeah.
shoot. All right, Dre, we both gotta work, so I'm not gonna hold you up. I just wanted to touch bases with you.
Okay. Look, I gotta get my little stuff together because I got a kind of like a class to teach today.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. And yeah, congratulations on everything you're doing on your channel. I mean um on your Facebook page. And if you want to get started with YouTube, I am your teacher. I teach YouTube on my other channel. I could show you the ins and out and how to get started professionally.
Okay.
All right,
I
so
might
let
end
me
up
know.
doing that because, yeah,
Yeah, I
I
got you.
will. I'll let you know.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.